Welcome to the Furious Futurist, the channel where I pick apart the present to find the future we were promised in the past. And whilst money has always made the world go round, in our science fiction future, money makes the entire universe go round. From the gold-pressed latinum coveted by Star Trek's Ferengi to the Woolongs of Cowboy Bebop, it seems like we'll always be using some form of currency in exchange for goods and services for the foreseeable future. But what form will this monetary material take? Will we eventually go cash-free and transition to a purely digital form? And will I ever be a cryptocurrency billionaire? Greetings, my furious friends. I am the Furious Futurist, and in this episode, I want to talk money. And ever since 2009, when Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, money has started to mean something very different from the traditional concept that has been held for thousands of years since we emerged out of the barter system. And while certain governments hate the concept of a decentralized blockchain currency upsetting the current and very lucrative status quo, on the other side of the coin, pun absolutely intended, they're also veritably salivating over the ability to move away from a cash-based society to a system where every last dollar or yen spent could be digitally accounted for, thus maximizing their ability to track and, more importantly, tax every single financial transaction ever made. And whilst cryptocurrency has been heavily criticized for the enormous amount of energy consumption required to maintain the blockchain grid, it has also offered a modern-day gold rush for keen investors. And whilst its volatility has made some people very rich, its downside was recently showcased when its value fluctuated wildly after China banned the mining of bitcoins in its territories. Of course, traditional currencies like the US dollar can oscillate too, and because in 1971 President Nixon left the gold standard, the link between the value of the dollar and the amount of gold the US has in its reserves, inflation can now theoretically swing just as wildly as any cryptocurrency, causing widespread poverty and untold disaster. But will the Federal Reserve create its own cryptocurrency? Well, they're already looking into forging something called a central bank digital currency, CBDC, arguing that this will advance the general economic equality of the population, a sentiment echoed by the not-at-all shady World Economic Forum, run by this year's winner of the real-life Bond Villain Award, Klaus Schwab, who states on his website, "You have to be prepared for a financial revolution in the next 10 to 15 years. And while this revolution may benefit some, probably Klaus, it also raises issues around privacy, because to ensure safety and transparency of digital transactions, much more importance is going to be placed on private identity verification, and that means much more personal data from you." But looking even further forward to the far future, the concept of physical cash simply won't work if humans are spanning planets and space stations, because distributing all those different currencies and coins would be physically impossible. So we'd have to transition to some sort of online space credit scenario. And if food begins to be harvested by robots and raw materials created by nanobots, will humanity enter a phase where money isn't even necessary, and our current economic model could seem as confusing and outdated as Justin Timberlake's ramen noodle hair back in his NSYNC days? And if we can move past our dependency on all things financial, perhaps we will finally see a truly classless, egalitarian society where people are no longer judged or hindered by their economic standing, and we can all live side by side as proud citizens of a post-money existence. But until then, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. But please take a second to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. If you have anything you'd like me to discuss, or if you have any futuristic technologies you'd like to send me to review, please leave a comment down below. I am the Furious Futurist, and you can check out some of my other videos here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, my furious friends.